Throughout this presentation, our group will be delivering exemplary knowledge and conveying our understanding of effective reading, our topic chosen for this assessment task. Effective reading, also known as active reading, is a process in which a student participates in to enhance their academic success and develop their knowledge about the topics being studied. Effective reading involves strategies such as annotating, paraphrasing, outline, and summarizing. In university, a great deal of time is spent on reading, especially academic articles. However, it is vital to understand the parts of a text and how to read them. When actively reading, there are certain parts of a text that provide key information almost instantaneously and saves the students hours of time reading through the resource. Knowing where to find the information about the parts of a text is very important. The parts of a text are shown on the screen. This is highly important as some students find it hard when not knowing what to read, how to read it, and how to understand the resource and research. To effectively read an academic article, you must follow these steps. Start with the abstract, then look for the aim and questions. How did the researchers conduct the research? What are the key findings? How do they relate to the field? And then what are your ideas and positions?
While actively reading, it is also important that students engage with the text by taking notes. This is a fundamental practice that students utilize in organizing the information they encounter. By understanding how to effectively read the parts of the text, students can develop a clear system for note-taking to identify and organize key concepts with efficient time management. This system, with the use of effective reading strategies that Chelsea will later discuss, is critical for effective note-taking, as it involves the student in the text to apply their own questions and reflections and collaborate ideas from other resources in their notes.
Academic reading should be an active activity rather than a passive, as the active process leads to the development of learning within the individual. Active reading is a more effective process and should be practiced throughout all higher education contexts. Kayla will provide us with some examples now.
Active reading involves a process of reading with questions in mind, critical evaluation of the text through comparisons and predictions, and actively engaging with the text through a process of highlighting, note-taking, and creating summary notes from a text. Passive reading involves reading the text once, with little understanding of the experimental design and aim, and reading every single word of a text because you have to, rather than wanting to answer a question.
To elaborate on what Georgia previously has said, it is evident that effective reading in higher education plays a crucial part in your independent learning as a student. As students progress to university, they are expected to read a range of academic literature in order to successfully complete assessment tasks as well as learn independently. As a university student, it is pivotal that you become an active reader, as Georgia defined previously. That is, asking questions when you are struggling or need to find out, taking critical and strategic approaches, and then selecting readings that relate to your questions and tasks. Effective reading involves you as an independent learner to find the best reading strategy suited to your personal needs. Effective reading also involves the ability to recognize different sources and selecting academically reputable sources. Effective and critical reading is an essential skill required for you as a student in higher education to succeed academically. Reading purposes remarkably influence personal reading outcomes, such as the amount of level and memory of comparison. A strong ethical emphasis on the basis of effective reading and strong literacy helps to develop levels of focus and concentration needed to complete tasks.
To further apprehend on Kiana's information and research, as well as previous statements within the video, I have researched various effective reading strategies. As stated by Gill, Martin and Cooper 2021, summarizing creates a new text by synthesizing the material of the original, as it allows the reader to use what they have outlined to create an understanding. Being able to recreate the text in your own words is what helps to effectively read and apprehend any text. Paraphrasing allows the reader to put information they have found in their own words, creating a higher standard of understanding. This strategy allows readers to change how information is said, not what has been said, defined by Gill, Martin and Cooper. Annotating is a key strategy used in terms of effective reading, as it underlines the important factors shown throughout the text. These common factors highlighted through annotating when reading a text includes the ability to recognize crucial areas, such as recognition of thesis statements, topic sentences, and body paragraphs, which need to be made clear to the reader for the best possible results. Outlining is a factor used to summarize a text and comprehend the reading effectively. Outlining demonstrates the basic structure of the text, highlighting the main ideas and evidence produced through the chosen text. Benefits upon outlining within effective reading includes the ability to distinguish between the author's ideas and the evidence provided.
Effective reading is a core factor in higher educational success across all academic disciplines. By implementing the effective reading strategies Chelsea discussed of annotating, paraphrasing, outlining, and summarizing, students can manage the heavy workload of their subjects with effective time management. The strategy of outlining is especially important in this regard as it assists students' ability to extract key ideas, enabling students to cope and engage with the overwhelming amounts of information they encounter in their study. This, in conjunction with other reading strategies such as paraphrasing and summarizing, ensures effective note-taking, a fundamental practice of active reading that I discussed earlier. Furthermore, students' active engagement with academic articles assists them in addressing the ambiguous writing expectations of university, as students can identify the components they need to successfully formulate an academic response through the annotation of the text they encounter. By this understanding, effective reading strategies are essential for students' academic success and independence.
When entering into a higher education context, students are exposed to a completely different learning environment. As mentioned above, critical reading is vital throughout university as students are faced with an overwhelming amount of information. As this can sometimes be a difficult skill for students to develop, we, being a part of this EDLE class, are privileged to have access to so many resources in our transition to university, assisting in our development of critical reading skills. These resources include constant teacher assistance and feedback in skill-specific topics for university learning, access to recommended readings that develop skills and assist in critical reading development, peer assistance when reading academic articles through our reading groups. There are also resources outside the classroom that can assist in critical reading skills, such as the SQ3R method, which stands for Survey, Question, Read, Recite, and Review. This is a resource that can assist in the initial development of critical reading skills, specifically getting students to critically engage and comprehend texts.
To conclude this presentation, it is evident that as independent learners in a higher education context, effective and active reading strategies are essential for one's individual academic success and independence. Effective reading in higher education gives students benefits in which impact their ability to achieve great results, as this is crucial in academic writing responses through annotating, paraphrasing, outlining, and summarizing.